welcome to the box art critique.
Review critique.
Whatever.
Yes.
It's me, Matthew and Woolsworth.
Yeah. No.
We can't do that.
No,
Sorry,
we're
the
not
entire
gonna do
time, guys.
Okay.
So welcome to
miss
the box.
SNL. It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. Welcome to the box art critique, where we use our useless art degrees.
Useless? Okay, completely worthless, but at the same time, varied. Because I went the route of illustration and design.
And I started that, and then I was deemed too real. And they promptly kicked me out. So then I went for
Fine arts.
fine arts, the finest arts.
So I represent the commercial side of things.
You sold out.
Well, okay, and you went for the I'm gonna put a garbage bag and put my name tag on it, and
Now
that's how I get my
got
marks.
a good grade on that.
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
Anyway.
In any case, we're still both disappointments to our parents.
Yes.
And that's
huge
the
waste
point.
of time.
But
Cry every night.
But we want to use that bullshit knowledge to take a look at some box art from over the years.
Yeah, and there's various different aspects you can take. Like, there's various franchises that have crazy box art. There's, like, trends to take a look at.
Sometimes it's hot shit. Sometimes it's
Sometimes
cold
it's
diarrhea.
not shit. You know? So, I think what we're going to start with is the fabled, storied Double Dragon franchise. There's a lot to fucking go through.
Now, Matt, I do believe that you, a young Matt McMuscles,
Impressionable,
made a giant ass post one time
on NeoGAF, yeah,
detailing everything of the saga.
Because everyone had their hands in the Double Dragon cookie pot,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So
everyone thought they had the license and no one had it.
So many different people had so many different interpretations of the box art, and the one we're going to start with is
Double Dragon 1.
Yeah. I think this is the NES box art. Now, one of them is the Double Dragon logo will just change. Sometimes the dragons will be like mammals. Sometimes there'll be all this weird shit.
They're not quite sure what type of dragon they want to be yet. Like little weird Pokemon creatures. Like,
but also,
like,
that's
whatever.
a shitty life. They're connected. To where does the shit come out?
You're some weird like cat dog creature, like
serpentine.
Like, somewhere here, it just kind of sprays out. Maybe perhaps a little mist.
Maybe shit shoots out one of the other dragon's mouths. Maybe it's like a human centipede dragon Chan.
It just comes straight out and just like creates a little like hat. Yeah, right there.
And we also got Billy and Jimmy looking like they're fresh out of Madame Tussauds wax museum with their weird melted faces.
Like something special is happening to this side of his face. I don't know what it is.
Look, he's lost all his will to fight. He's just fighting because it's all he knows now.
He also seems to be trying to intimidate his brother by replacing his bicep with a loaf of bread. Fresh from the oven.
So what I don't get about this box art specifically is that image of Billy and Jimmy right there. They're clearly fighting against each other, but down below they're clearly co-oping together. And I don't know what the blue brother is doing. What attack is happening there? He's clearly kicking Red Jimmy or Billy, whatever.
But he's not sure whether he's punching or kicking. He's deciding mid-air.
He doesn't know where he's coming.
Whatever hits, man.
Going. It's really weird. Also, if you see Red Jimmy, the big pitcher, just cleverly, very sneakily has sticks of dynamite in his red vest.
Does he?
Right there above the Nintendo logo. The Nintendo.
Oh my god! Yeah, right there.
Just in case.
Oh, in case shit needs to get real.
Oh, I brought my sticks of dynamite. It is one of the pillars of our martial arts training.
In order to murder his brother in cold blood.
Yeah,
I guess the idea here is to convey that you fight together, and that's one way to enjoy your 25 cents.
But this is the NES version.
Right,
so there was no co-op.
Right, yeah,
so this box art's a lie.
Sign of the Dragon.
Now, Billy and Jimmy, having died, are replaced with Hammer and Spike.
Of course.
Which was their name in this weird port. I forget what port this is. This is a home port, and just a very similar but different tack. First of all, now we just have a regular dragon.
Yes.
But it's incorrect because it's no longer a double dragon.
It's
just
right.
one.
You're right. That's true. It is now a single Chinese dragon. There is no double aspect to it at all. The colors are not in play anymore. I'm a fan of Joe Rogan over here.
Yeah.
Getting into the fight.
He's thinking about porn right now.
He knows how to grapple. He's got some good UFC striking skills.
Who honestly tattoos just the back of their fist?
Like,
Who really does?
You're trying to send a message, I guess.
You know what I really hate? Why both blue headbands. That makes it so much more confusing.
Yeah.
I don't really get it. And this implies that Hammer hammers and always pounds Spike's nails. That's so fucking weird.
Are we describing a seme-uke relationship
A
here?
little bit. And
Is Hammer the top and Spike the
he's
bottom?
always the bottom. And you
That's-
can see in his face he knows he's the bottom. Spike does.
But
I also don't get this summer's hottest video from Taito's Starfleet Enterprise.
the Taito Starfleet. We need to find out
Maybe
more.
is that a fucking like
we need
weird
to find
ass
out more.
console? I do have to say though, musculature better.
Fine.
It's fine.
These are human beings.
But and you can see they're not weird wax statues anymore.
Yeah, this is 80s action man face.
It's not too bad. It's in line with Contra covers and like Ikari Warriors style shit.
Like whatever the fuck you're doing with your
No, that's cool.
whatever
Shut
you're
up.
doing with your fucking sideburns
No,
needs to stop, Joe Rogan. It
No,
needs to
that's cool.
stop.
I'd do that. All right, this is clearly a Japanese advert for, I guess, just an arcade version because it's not the NES version. Screenshots below.
Taro's first airbrushing class.
Also, Blue Jimmy or Billy, it's gonna wildly swing back and forth.
It really is.
But little Cro-Magnon going on in his brow nose area, that's kind of weird.
This specific little, like, yeah.
That's a problem area.
The Namek. The Namekian inside blood is coming through.
What I like about this, though, is that they are drawn to be sprite accurate how they looked in the arcade version.
Yes.
That's about as close as you can actually
and specifically looking at the hair and a couple of the other aspects there. Now, I guess this is the first time we'll start to be able to, like, I guess, use hairstyle or rather hair color to distinguish properly, because in the previous ones the hair color was there, but
it just changes.
it just
They
flopped back and
do
forth. But
whatever
this is
the fuck
this is
they want.
accurate, right?
Yes.
This is accurate to the
game.
sprite.
So the red Jimmy, that sideburn, you can set your watch to how straight that is. That's crazy. That was done with a protractor.
You can grab a fucking I can't even draw.
You
a line
can't
that
even draw
straight.
that straight. No one can. You need all the Greek mathematicians to help you out
to
here.
measure this angle.
And
It's not acute.
What is Ice Golem in the bottom left? And oh my God!
are you?
Look, Jimmy's legs are cracking.
What?
The red. What's that?
Yeah. There's.
Unless that's supposed to be a wall. It's a confusing fucking image.
This is the mystery zone right here.
Mystery Zone.
All right, now we get my speed.
So this is for clearly the Atari 2600.
Fuck
Activision.
yeah.
Activision published these for a little bit.
Yes.
Take us through this.
I-
What do your elf eyes see?
I see many things. The first thing I see, believe it or not, is not the characters. It's the fact that we've got a 1-point perspective background, right? It's all lines leading back to
leading to Metro
right?
City.
But then this building here,
It says no. Fuck that.
I'm following my own
I
perspective.
do whatever I want.
I'm vanishing into my own distance, way the fuck off over here.
And don't forget that fence.
This fence is still following the center point of this ground, like, sphere. As long as it's fine. It's fine. Like, this can vanish this way and whatnot. But this building is like, nah, son. I go by the beat of my own drum.
So that's good, but now we can clearly see two Ron Perlmans in the center. Who are these guys supposed to be? Honestly.
Oh god, like,
And he's got the creepy whip that it's like a cat of 3 tails. Look at the bottom of his whip. Yeah, it's Ron and Ron too.
Ronnie and
Ronnie and
Remy.
Donnie. Ronnie and Rooney. This Nightman.
Right?
It's Darkman.
coming to do bad things to the children
He's
over here.
just kind of watching. He's just making sure everything's going to plan, which I guess is this one girl being mildly inconvenienced by 3 dudes. And the heroes are like, yep, another night of no crime.
The city remains protected. Complete absence
Of the dragon. Yeah.
Complete
It's
absence.
no longer double, and there's no longer dragons. That's not a part of it.
Don't worry about the dragon.
Oh, God, those guys. State of your hair, mate.
What? Okay.
So I believe this
What
was...
era were we entering here?
This is like early 90s, I believe, if I remember my long NeoGAF post. This is a Spanish version, like a Spanish localized version. Now, those are about the coolest dragons.
Now, I was about to say, everyone
We can hope to
shut up
see-
for a minute.
Shut up.
This is the coolest fucking series of dragons. These are double dragons, and they're being real.
The problem here is that the actual double dragon font is god-awful.
This is the worst.
It's got an Arabian Nights feel, but why?
Yeah, you're crossing themes, and it looks like it also wants to say Adubled
Dagoon.
Dragunu. You know?
Dagoon.
Adubled Dragoon.
So, like, you get like 50 points for that like logo, but you get those 50 points taken away for the actual
For your
double
font,
dragon font.
exactly.
And I don't even want to what motions is Blue Shirt doing with his fingers?
He's doing,
what is that?
That's the Bart Simpson, like,
yeah, it's the touch of death.
right?
It's really again, who are these dudes supposed to be?
Saw this in a movie once. Wife beater and dress shirt.
And dad beard. Look at that dad. What is the object behind the dude that's getting kicked? What's happening in the what is that? Is that a sarcophagus? What is going on?
It's a hurdle, an Olympic hurdle that you would leap over, perhaps.
Do you know what's cool though? Artist got to sign his name.
Got to sign his work.
That's super hype.
Let everybody know what he did.
They don't usually allow you to do that. But this is another classic example of like the problem of Double Dragon usually is that so many people wanted the rights, grabbing up the crumbs, that they totally lost who the fuck these dudes were supposed to be and what the fuck the logo is supposed to be.
But you know what? This artist, he likes David Carradine and I guess Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. I was looking at them going, they remind me of someone, but you nailed it there.
If you want to also consider for a moment, like, are these the dragon's hands?
They're cute. They're like little slashy paw claws.
Why are these little baby pup claws, little delicate
maybe
Manny hands?
Maybe every day is like leg day for them, and they never work out their arms. Look at that big girthy Chun-Li thighs behind
that's
the
what
spear.
that's where I was going next. Is you've got this happening
Well,
as well.
great.
Like they got a Manny Petty, they got these big girthy thighs. So that would mean this is a huge gut.
I think there's some logos later where the dragons are surrounding some type of sphere. It's like a dragon.
Right.
Like, you know,
like
dragons
Dragon
usually
Ball.
are clutching like a sphere or a pearl.
Of fortune.
Again.
Yes. All right. Now we have like Asian cop movie.
Yeah, Eternal Affairs.
Right.
Going on here.
Police Story.
This was a Master System port. So that's Jimmy, but behind him is the Dark Hado
Kazuya.
because Kazuya is behind him. He's not having a good time, that one behind him.
Billy Lee and Kazuya Lee.
It's also implied by the city skyline that these are two Aotans.
Yes.
That are attacking the city.
But you know what? Here's what I'll take, because remember, this is super Asian cop movie style, right? Therefore, you're gonna get two super Asian characters, and the only thing to distinguish them won't be their hair blonde and black, but will be both shades of black with blue highlights for the blue
That's kinda
dragon
neat.
and for red highlights for the red dragon.
See, that's kind of cool. This is the first box art, and it happens a bit later, but it's the first one we have so far where it actually starts distinguishing. Sometimes they do it. They have a blue dragon and a red dragon. That makes sense. I'll accept both those dragon colors. That's cool.
I'm okay with it.
I think it's kind of neat. But again...
They fucking hate each other.
Yeah!
Okay.
Many balled up Kleenexes after I looked at this box art when I was a wee lad.
Listen, all right? One of the first things you learn back in art school, right, specifically when you're doing composition class, is you're learning about
your eye goes...
the line of action
In a circle.
and your eye travels, and in a good piece of art, your eye should travel in a circle.
It shouldn't wander off the side of a page.
Exactly. And the way you control where the eye moves is by creating lines.
Like whipping a mohawked big-titted lady.
Right? So your eye will travel from the outside up here to the heroes.
Yep.
Not ignoring the logo over here. Catching that. Right?
And now her body slinks
To Maria,
downward.
back down into the action. What's happening
And
over
a
here?
Bobo bridges the gap, and then his club
Back
goes across his
over,
dick.
right?
Oh, look
to
at
this
this
guy
circle.
getting punched. And then where do we go? Up the action line over to the brother again. And we end right here.
A perfect spiral.
Right? A Fibonacci sequence that is Double Dragon 2 The Revenge.
And then after you're done that, then you can look at all the little details like hype-ass helicopter in the background there. You can look at nice, cool buildings, and like there's a starry sky, and that's all the stuff in the background. The only part that kind of puts me off is the weird red bar that goes straight up behind Marion.
Yes.
What is that? That's kind of weird.
I think it is a little bit weird based on the platform they're on.
What is that?
But it's fine because
Flagpole.
it still creates balance because this is the shape.
Yeah.
This is the shape
And
of
all
the
the
piece.
logos like take up the negative space
Exactly.
on the top, so it looks
right.
cool.
And whether you give or take a few inches off of this triangle is respected.
Yeah.
You confront this triangle and you fucking absolutely respect it.
And like people might not understand what we're saying, but your brain does.
Your brain knows what's
because
happening.
get rid of the triangle. It's just an awesome image if you just look at it. Like like aside from all that stuff, it's like it just fooled you into you're making your eyes do a thing that you didn't know it was doing.
And for
Fucking
once, Paul fucking Marketing Senior,
yeah,
right? Like Daddy Marketing,
daddy marketing
understood not to fuck with it. He put a little thing here and he put a little thing here, but he understood to just get all this negative space. Up here is where you want to put your marketing
exactly.
shit.
Not like available in 19
yeah.
and 25-inch monitors. That's kind of there.
But don't put a fucking screenshot
right
here,
there.
a
Yeah,
screenshot here,
yeah.
and then Double Dragon 2
DD2.
Don't fucking do that.
So, if you can tell by the 1925-inch monitors, this is an ad for the arcade version. I'm really surprised it didn't say double up your profits.
Yeah.
Or a bad arcade moniker to like double up the quarters into your own pockets.
Right? Is Jimmy Lee gonna have to choke a bitch?
Maybe. He is. That whip is weird because it's just a fucking jungle vine.
Yeah.
There's no, it's like an Indiana Jones whip that has like a handle. It's just a jungle vine he found in the city.
But it's like he caught her own whip and she's now like, give it back.
My hubris, no.
What now?
Also, the art style, just as a last point, it looks very Tetsuo Hara, like Fist of the North Star, Muscle, Saturday Night Slam Masters. I don't think it's the same guy, but it's the same type of feeling. So that's also super cool.
Absolutely. No, anytime you look at the characters and you're seeing highlights, mid-tones, another set of mid-tones, lowlights. And they're all like kind of clearly distinct from each other. Yeah. It's absolutely that type of Fist of the North Star style.
Like, it's in contention with my favorite Double Dragon image, but lots of other.
No,
the frock of hair.
Just look at the shapes happening inside of that. That's fantastic.
It's super good. That's what a lady's hair would do if you're swinging her around on a red platform and whipping people.
Absolutely.
But lots of other territories had their own version of this box art.
Yeah, we could go on forever on this one, but what else did they try? So
every lesson learned that we talked about was shit and pissed on here.
And I like that they tried to keep the helicopter.
But the helicopter is wildly swinging and about to crash.
But it's a little babby-copter, and it's like a little toy.
Look at this Kanyiku Man mohawk dude with the fake little plastic mohawk.
Trying to do it, you know.
To do it.
You've got sure, like that. Look at this hair by comparison to what I just highlighted over there.
And look at her face. She doesn't want to be here.
Right?
She hates Billy and Jimmy. And look at his glorious Kentucky waterfall mullet.
Fucking party in the back. Bitches. Just so everybody knows what's real.
Now you can see the whip just goes down and some rando is just grabbing it and it gets all muddled with the fucking screenshots.
Well, what I described before was the line of action, if you would. Now this is where Paul Marketing Jr.
No, I can do it, Dad.
And he fucks up the entire thing and he puts all these screenshots over the piece. So you can't see what the fuck is happening.
What's happening?
Right? And it doesn't matter because what is happening is some bullshit. Because assuming you could, it would start back here, give you this line. The line breaks and goes this way.
And goes straight into his mouth.
Straight up to fucking shitty Mulletsville. You maybe you come down back here, but you don't really want to. You get this weird curve.
To be okay, one little leg up it has is that Marion has a much more whopper ass in this shot. But it's still illustrated more poorly.
It's not an ass that won't quit. This ass is gonna check out at 5 o'clock, but it's respectable. All right,
a respectable ass.
It's a little ghetto booty. It's fine. We're not gonna hate on it. But once you travel off screen, there's no reason to come back.
Yeah.
You just keep going, and you're like, I want to
really
go back
bad.
to that old piece. I want to look at what this originally used to be. There's no reason to travel back into this frame.
Also, $39 for these ports. Fuck off. Look at that, $39 for the Amiga version.
This is the action you're fucking
Eat
getting.
my ass. Look, the Underwater City, the Garden of Death, and the infamous Trap Room. I don't remember any of that shit. The Garden of Death. When was that a stage? I don't remember what that shit is.
Also, like, I'm just not a fan of like the typeface that wraps around the object.
Dude, I don't like how you
newspapers.
drew this because it literally looks like Jimmy at the top is just shooting a bunch of shit out of his mouth now, and it just went crazy all over everybody.
Yeah, and it's some shit, right? It's some shit because this is disturbed. You can't even get the full deal of what's happening with Billy over here.
I have a question. Why redraw it at all? Just add the machine availability because this is clearly for home computers. Why even change the look? The Double Dragon the Revenge logo is the exact same thing. What was wrong with the last image?
Why fuck with a good thing?
Why add it? The other image had a screenshot of the version. So what are you gaining here? You're gaining nothing.
You're gaining nothing.
No one gets over. There's no pop.
No.
It's just bad.
And once again, that line, we talk about the line of action and whatnot. You would want to try and create a triangle, and you might start kind of like this, but then you're like, it's like
Now, I'm gonna be real. This is not great at all. It's actually like a 0. But the ticker went down past a 0 and rolled back, and now it's at 13 because it's so fucking awesome looking.
I would accept a universe where this was Jimmy Lee.
And this is like that shoulder pad. That's the most Mad Max fucking Hokuto no Ken shoulder pad ever.
No fucks given.
What I have to say,
took it. Yeah.
That's what that is. You know what is not what it's supposed to be? Those aren't a pair of nunchucks. Those are 2 pieces of wood attached by like a 5-foot chain. That's an impractical weapon. You can't even swing that properly.
This is known as a 2-section staff. Special shout outs to the Batosai with his reverse blade, right? Which he's holding fucking backwards and putting his arm his hand against the sharp edge. Right here, where he'd be cutting his own fucking fingers off. What are they doing? What are they doing?
What do you think about those 2 dragons? Now they're greenish blue with red highlights. It's actually kind of interesting.
But we've left the east again, and we've gone back to the west.
Yeah.
We're doing little goblins.
Back to the west coast.
We're going back to these little goblins, and they're like not even blue or red. They're both the same color.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really like them because they don't look strong. They look pathetic.
Little Trogdors almost. Now, what's also really confusing about this box art is that it's called Double Dragon 3, the arcade game.
That's correct.
This is clearly a Genesis port, but they called it the arcade game because there already was another home port, which was just called Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone, which is a completely different game developed separately than the arcade game.
Yeah.
But they called this one the arcade game, which, if you remember me talking about before, the arcade game was the first game to have microtransactions.
Right. Put in more quarters for life.
Put in more quarters for life weapons and additional characters.
The unfortunate placement of this stupid thing
It
here.
looks like he has a firecracker going off of at the end of his nunchuck.
I think he has a spike. To me, it looks like he has a fucking
stake.
a Dracula stake, exactly,
yeah,
ready
yeah.
to impale fucking Dracula. And the other shitty thing is that because the placement of these characters, they're so central, and there's no real negative space happening.
All this shit is crammed in the background. You see little bits of
you
dudes.
can barely get a piece of the action behind them.
Look at behind his back. There's one like random dude right there.
Little bit of
What is
action
he doing?
here.
I don't know.
And that's all you get. Like, I keep looking away from Billy and looking back and thinking he's got a giant nose ring like Bebop. You know?
I just keep staring at his face because it's so pretty. He's like a bishy.
All right, and then we have the inside.
We have Matt's coloring book.
The inside of the booklet art.
I know. I think this was the arcade marquee or on the sides, maybe.
But it's like the artist who does the inside of a game booklet is not the guy who does the cover.
No, of course not. So of course we have Ric Flair behind the three Jimmy Lee brothers. That's one of the new woo. That's one of the new characters that was added to Double Dragon 3, the arcade version, Sunny. We got Egyptian hieroglyphics. Just the thing about this game, there's one stage that happens in Egypt.
Of course.
The rest go around the world. There's gladiators. They go to
Yep.
Spain. Like, what the... Why? Why the fucking Ric Flair resurrection gas birthing from the Lazarus pits? One of the worst logos ever. Just a shitty,
you didn't
nothing
try.
font. Where is that 3? Why is the 3 drunkenly almost about to fall off on the side? And the Rosetta Stone in a dumb, like, ancient, like Crusades font.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a lazy, tired 3 that doesn't want to be here. Also notice that the D is overlapping the Rosetta Stone
fuck
like
that shit.
thing here. It's like
Moving on.
Okay.
All right, Patrick Swayze and Rob Lowe Adventures.
Oh my God! Seriously.
It really looks like Patrick Swayze.
That's fucking.
So this is a Game Boy. This is the arcade game for Game Boy. And it's actually a noble attempt, I guess.
I will never not respect this silhouette in the
Yeah,
night.
look how, like, you know
This-
that fun shit's happening.
That happening in the night
background.
is always good.
That's great. That happens on our rooftops all the
This
time.
is a good runner-up as well.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The only thing is that there's so much space that can be on it. This is the Game Boy cartridge image
is.
on it.
It
There's only
is.
so much space, and they literally chose the best things that they could. I think the pair should be moved more in the center.
Yeah.
The original Game Link Game Pack, whatever, should be down below, and the Double Dragon 3 logo should be moved in the center. It's kind of all off.
Well,
but
it doesn't make any sense to me that, like, not even marketing, but, like, whoever was responsible wouldn't make this thing just up here where
Yeah.
it wouldn't disturb anybody.
No, I don't like his hair, mate. Put it over his hair. I don't want to see it.
Right, there's something going on underneath this logo that was just, like, disrespectful at the time. He was spiking out too much,
So
telling the kids to rebel. He's got a mohawk under there.
now that I see them again, I have to make mention of this. Nowhere in any of the games do anyone wear headbands.
Ever.
Never in any of the sprite work, in any of like the proto illustrations, the original Japanese thing that we said that looked a lot like the original sprites. No one ever wore headbands. It's just randomly. Sometimes they're like, no headbands.
Because beat 'em up heroes.
We got headbands, guys. We can work out.
Tough street guys on the street doing dirty work for the good reasons.
Yeah, doing duty work for the good reasons.
What the fuck at the size of that going? That's
Great. That's like my arms.
But that's Arnie. Is this not just Arnie's arm?
It looks very like he ripped off Arnold Schwarzenegger's arms and stitched him to his fucking torso.
Right?
Yeah.
I
that's what it's going for.
feel like I've seen this arm before. I feel like we're looking at
It's right here, Woolie.
Dylan. You son
yeah,
of a bitch.
Color that in darker.
I feel that.
Oh yeah.
I feel this
That
is what
kind of
we're-
looks like he's jerking something off too. Though.
You know what I mean? All right. There's a lot going on here.
Storm Studios sure knocked it out of the park.
Okay, so we were talking about the line of action. Let's attempt for a moment.
No, there's no line of action here. It's just a fucking clusterfuck of reptilian coils
Maybe
and logos.
somewhere.
I want to know, aside from all this, why is Savio Vega
Oh shit!
from Los Boricuas
Yeah.
fighting a random ninja on a Double Dragon box art? Also, look in the background, the little skyline silhouettes.
Yes.
It looks like they're in an Asian country. I see pagodas.
Yeah,
And
they're-
like, why?
We are seeing pagodas over here. Was there not an actual?
There might have been a China or Japan
Because
level.
if they go to
but-
Egypt, then at some point, surely.
So Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone, sure, giving mixed messages about what the marquee art should be. Is it Egypt? Is it arcade stuff? Is it like this? I don't
Now,
know.
is this supposed to be a singular lonely speed line?
No, it's just a crease on the box art.
Oh.
Looks like these dragons are actually in super trouble, and they're like suffocating because they're all coiled, and they're begging these men to help them.
Please free us. Help us, humans.
Jesus Christ.
We will grant you wishes.
Yeah!
Okay. So this one
Yeah.
has a lot of good things happening with
There's
it.
a lot going on,
And
to be fair.
But the reason why I think this works, despite a lot of stupid shit, is
Yeah.
because the most prominent and important thing
Because
is the fucking name
mostly
of the game.
because it's so big, but secondarily because there's so much more color and everything else is kind of desaturated.
Absolutely.
Like the most brightest color aside from the dragons and the type is one of the Jimmy Lee brothers whatever skin
his skin.
that just pops out, and
But-
everything else is just
But you're
kind of
not
there.
meant to really pay attention to much more than the name of the fucking game.
Also, what's the sacred stones? What's the Rosetta Stones?
Oh shit.
It's so fucking
We
confusing.
don't know.
The developers didn't even know what to call it.
Yeah, we've got an Egyptian cityscape up here. Got like a New York cityscape up here. More dudes getting kicked on top of rooftops.
And look at that tiny man jumping in front of the ninja.
Oh.
On the right. No, on the right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Look at that tiny little guy. He's helping out.
Little pocket guy.
Yeah.
He can do it. Go, my Pokemon. All right.
Super Double Dragon took a different tact where they're just like, all right, now gold and green dragons, even though they're blue and red.
Okay. So I've seen this art so much that it's like I have to unsee it to criticize it.
Yeah.
It's really hard. But first thing I'm noticing is fucking Captain Falcon chilling out over here.
Yo, I notice him and
Wanting-
all of his friends coming out of Silent Hill.
Yes, waiting for us to show us show him our moves.
Yeah.
Right. We've got
You got Lon D.
Lon D.
Right there.
Right.
Oh, I
With-
killed your father too.
with the dragon mirror, ready to fucking
This-
do his shit.
The stupid non-nunchucks are back.
Oh god.
And this is also one of the first games, like I believe early on, that's an official canon game that said Jimmy is blonde, wears red, Billy wears blue, has brown or dark hair.
And that's fucked up because that's not what I
It
know.
wasn't what it was before.
That's not what
so
I know.
you see that only the green dragon gets a lick
Yeah.
of the pearl.
Right.
Only he gets to hold it, while the other dragon is just super jealous.
No power for you.
You've
Shit
talked
gold
about this
brother.
before, but this is a Super Nintendo box art, so it's always going to have to be a horizontal
Absolutely.
image to fit with those cartridges.
Which
so
lends itself better to the space,
it does.
quite frankly. I'll tell you what's not fine.
What?
Who the fuck holds a staff like that?
Jimmy, you're holding it like super fucking wrong, dude.
You're about to break your wrists. Also, which side of is his thumb over here?
I don't know.
Or is it over here, perhaps underneath?
I don't fucking know.
Oh
But
man.
overall, it's
Is he Jay Guile? Does he have two left hands?
it's still a cool image, but I like the dragons are kind of like so different to everything we've seen so far. And this is Super Double Dragon. This is like the last officially like new Double Dragon that got made.
Yeah.
Like by Japanese developers at least, you know. So this is the Japanese version, which is called Return of Double Dragon.
Okay.
Sleeping Dragon has awoke. That's the subtitle. So a police woman, Marion, is training the art of Kung Fu at the training school which Billy and Jimmy operate.
Marion is the only woman drug investigator in the police station.
One day, on the way back from the school, she tried to investigate Shadow Warriors, but she has not yet returned.
I would love to think that this is the title of the game.
That's the title of the game.
Based on its positioning and prominence and this is whatever the fuck else down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're back. The Japanese version goes, no, now we're back to blue and red dragons.
Yes, we are.
And now there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Billy is just a Kenshiro now.
Massive kudos for showing us what Geese Howard looked like in between Art of Fighting and Fatal Fury when he was getting rid of his long hair,
Also,
but
look
not
at that
completely
red
done
shit.
with it yet.
Red shit under the type.
This.
It's blood splatters.
Oh, this. Oh.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because
The state of your poster.
because she has not yet returned. Do these men in the background want to fight?
They look like they don't want to, though.
They don't look like they're particularly ready to fight.
Also, look at that logo now. Return of Double Dragon. Now it's two silhouetted
I'll
dragons.
take
with
it.
red.
I'll take
I
it.
guess.
I'll take these dragons too.
They're cool.
I'm fine with those dragons.
But still, a lot of differences between the Japanese and the North American version.
And technically, they create a secret illustration of a globe if you pay attention.
Yeah, those celestial dragon gods
Yeah.
circling the earth with their big wavering dragon dicks on either side. Those look like weird tentacles. I don't like them.
It's mise en
It
scène.
makes me nervous.
Okay. This I will give 1 point for being the most garish fucking Super Nintendo box on the rental shelf that you can't not notice it.
Yeah, exactly. It stood out. Now, the one notable thing is that you'll see in the illustration of Jimmy and Billy, this is by Julie, who is an artist in the 90s that painted a lot of superhero cards, art, and covers. You know Boris Vallejo?
Vallejo, yeah.
She was always the same artist and did the same time. She did a lot of
Louis
fantasy
Royo,
art.
Boris
And
Vallejo.
then she was given this job and sighed and got her paycheck and left. Because who would want to draw these fucking idiots from Super Double Dragon 5?
Dragon spin, Dragon win.
So just like the game, this was based off the cartoon, and they had the balls to call it 5.
Yeah,
That's
they
like
did.
calling Street Fighter V and making a game based off V, Street Fighter 4.
Yep. I want you to take a moment and think about the Shadow Master's actual human nose underneath this gargoyle mask. And try to picture what's happening to his nostrils and face in general. This is crushing and destroying his face.
Maybe he doesn't have a face.
He can't breathe.
Maybe that's why he's so angry.
Maybe it's because he's got a little tiny Michael Jackson nose.
And now we almost come full circle. Double Dragon 5 now returns to the little connected dragons that are almost exactly the same as the first box art we looked at.
The little cat dog dragons where
Yeah.
it's like one of them is the butt and one of them is the face. And no one knows which.
And she was probably just said, give us a nice vertical image, whatever you like. And then she gave it, and they're like, oh, fuck. For the Super Nintendo version, we can't use it.
Yeah.
So we gotta do this now, and it looks like that.
Yep.
So much yellow.
Peter marketing to the rescue. Just throw the logo on, bigger than every other game logo in every other Super Nintendo
Also,
game.
huge lies, because it was not a hit TV show.
How are we gonna find the Shadow Master's drug factory?
Just the box art just lying to your face.
God damn it. What is this laser sword?
Shut
Why
up.
did he get...
No, it's cool.
I love this art style. This box is boring.
Yeah, it's just a red background. They got the highlight on them that we use in Photoshop.
Yeah,
and shit.
blending options glow.
But this was a remake of the original Double Dragon that Atlas, as you can see, put out, and they got a lot of the original team to work on it and just did a full remake. And so they were like, let's just make illustrations of them, and that's it.
Yes.
These should be the canon dudes and what they look like.
We're
and
back-
again, blue is Billy in this version.
Yeah.
And red is Jimmy.
Which still confuses me because I'm like, that's not the way it ends up.
It's not what you were taught.
It's not what I was taught.
Yeah.
Double Dragon font goes back to what it used to be.
Exactly. The first boxer we looked at, that's the exact
Goes
same.
back to the font, but no dragons this time.
Yeah.
You know what? This is font. Like I said, I like this, but it's just give it a background and it would have passed.
Yeah. It's just
Drop this Photoshop
background's
blending
kinda lazy.
filter. Give it a background, and it would have been fine.
I really love. I did fan art of these two types of
Yes.
designs on my old DeviantArt.
I
It's
would
there
love.
somewhere.
I'd love to see more of this particular Billy and Jimmy.
Yeah. I would like to see less of this particular Billy and Jimmy.
This is almost unfair.
The only cool part is the illustration on the top.
Oh, you like
the T1000?
T1000 face?
And those guys, because that's actually a painting, or it looks like it at least, where those are just photos of fucking Iron Chef and Scott Wolf.
And it wouldn't be Double Dragon if you didn't have city rooftops, but it's like they barely had space to fit it in.
What are these cannons coming out of the...
Yeah,
Earth?
little fire cannons, and then like a little helicopter up here. I guess it's because it's post-apocalyptic, right?
What the fuck is this? Why is there a medallion? Why is it so busy below? Why is there graffiti? Why?
Why does Jimmy look so happy?
He was like, oh, I'm Jimmy, and I'm Iron Chef.
Or is
I
that
was
Bill?
the crow
No, wait,
once.
he's Billy in the movie.
I don't care.
This guy's Jimmy.
I care about it and all the other box arts, but I don't give a fuck here.
Can we just like crop this image on its own and just call this Guy the movie?
Guy, man. Yeah,
Bushin
you're right.
Ryu.
Holy shit, that looks more like Guy than any Double Dragon character.
Come on.
Also, they are two different races.
Okay.
Can you feel the sex
This
radiating off
You know
these
what?
Cadillacs of men?
I'll let it count. I will let it count because this has never been
This is superhero versions of them.
Yeah. So they power up into this.
I think. I
Or-
want to get this comic just to read it.
Someone's bankrolling this body
You know what?
armor.
I somehow-
someone's bankrolling that ass. Look at these.
I somehow doubt this is available on the Marvel mobile app to download the fucking comic.
Right? Look at these butt bros, cheek to cheek,
Oh yeah.
creating a perfect shape right here for your.
And you can tell through the illustration that Blondie is the smug asshole, and that dark hair is kind of the more serious. Like, let's do it. Yeah.
Just get right in between.
Just a double dragon right in there. Oh, that's really terrible. Well, we're back to the drizzling shits.
because for all the shitting on every other box art we did, at least it wasn't Poser. At least it wasn't Source Filmmaker.
At least it wasn't the exact same guy, just with different colored hair. And the most confusing dragon logo I've ever seen.
But Playable Marion, though.
That's the only cool thing. This was the best, most high-res version of this image I could find
Oh, God.
on the entirety of the internet. This was the best one.
Photoshop render menu.
Lightning. Yeah.
Lightning effect, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, we've got... You know what? Okay. This is not bad. This is a fine medallion.
But it's so busy.
It takes up too much space.
It should be smaller.
Way smaller.
They take up... It
And
takes up 80% of the image.
and its
almost.
colors are just boring and bland.
It's beige.
Like okay, blur your eyes and look at this. It is a blur. It's just flesh-colored garbage.
Yeah.
Right?
It does, like, if you just exchange Billy and Jimmy and just put Zubaz on there, it'd look automatically better.
Oh man.
But, because of the lightning, but, like, they just look so lifeless and shitty, like you said, Poser. Oh, yeah.
Feel the storm,
Oh,
bitch.
yeah.
No, but this is the worst. This is the absolute worst. To me, this is the worst box art because bad 3D looks worse than
Oh, shit, you're right.
an
You're right.
an
You're right.
artist's
Automatically.
hand done work.
Automatically, you're right. Yeah,
that
yeah.
lazy ass fucking shit from the Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
I would take over this.
Fair enough. You've turned me. What a swerve. So, yeah, Double Dragon.
Double Dragon.
I hope you enjoyed the box art critique.
Yeah!
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Forward.